Hello. Last week in class, we began our exploration of the different domains of development, focusing specifically on approaches to learning. During that time, we looked specifically at the Head Start Early Learning Outcomes Framework, as well as the Georgia Early Learning Standards as examples. And through that, I shared with you a resource that supports the Head Start Early Learning Outcomes Framework called the Effective Practice Guides. And so I'm going to take a little bit of time to walk you through this resource and give instructions for some extra credit work that you can do. So the Effective Practice Guides is an interactive resource that connects the domains of development to teaching practices and really helping you think about how you can implement curriculum in your classroom that supports these specific domains. So for example, we can click on Approaches to Learning. And you will see information here specific to the domain of Approaches to Learning. We see the subdomains listed here that you can click on as well. If you click on a subdomain, it will then take you to this page looking at the information around no. So if you look over on the left, you can see that when we get into the subdomains, we then have content that is organized in this framework of the Know, See, Do, Improve. So Know, See, Do, Improve is a framework around how adults learn. And so first you need the content, which is what is under the Know. And so you can see here, there are specific goals that relate to approaches to learning and specifically the subdomain of emotional and behavioral self-regulation. There is then information about interactions and teaching practices, as well as the environment and ways to individualize. As well, it's organized by infants and toddlers and then preschoolers. So you're going to want to focus on the preschool section as this course is focusing on preschool age children. So that information is there. Then under the C tab, this is where we have videos around what this looks like. Right, so you can watch the video. There's some additional information. The next step is the doing. So then it's really thinking about what it is that you can do in your classroom to support this subdomain. And so you have listed here a number of different strategies that you could use in your classroom, right? And then the final is the improve. And this looks specifically at thinking about how coaching can support you in implementing different teaching practices in your use of curriculum around the domains of development. And so if we look at this, it talks about goal setting and action steps, focused observation, and reflection and feedback. So ideally, it would be great if you had access to a coach. The process is that you would set a goal of something that you want to work on in your classroom. And then you would create a plan in terms of how you're going to do that. Your coach would then come and observe you practicing that goal, implementing that goal. And then you would meet with a coach to reflect and receive feedback. Unfortunately, most teachers do not have access to a coach. And so what we're going to do that I'm offering as an extra credit is that for each of the domains of development, as we go through them, you can use this resource, look through the information under the know, see, and do. And then in particular, under the do, to identify a goal, something that you want to try in your classroom to support that chosen domain and subdomain. You will then write a one-page summary of what your goal was and how you implemented that in the classroom, and then a reflection on how that went. I will include a template that you can use for this. So you have the opportunity to do this for each of the 5 domains as we were working through the content. And again, that so that was 5 opportunities for extra credit. So thank you. And in class, we will talk about this as well, if you have any questions.